Well, thank you for coming. We are going to look at Plato's Timaeus, not the whole of it, of course, a couple of small parts of it. Let me move this for a moment. All right. Now, of all the works of Plato, it is said that the Timaeus has had the greatest impact on medieval Europe all the way into the present world. I would like to just deal with two parts of it. One, what we can learn about the mind of the Demiurgos and the creative process, and the problem of form and formless. How you can say form is empty and empty is form in a Platonic world. Well, that's the big problem in Buddhism. So I think it will be fun to put the two together this evening. How are we going to do it? Well, as the process of creation goes on, if we could get an insight into the mind of the Demiurgos, and the Demiurgos is the name of the god, the maker. If we could get an insight into the stages that the Demiurgos goes through in the states of mind and the processes, his own mind, as he does the creative process, we can collect them together and come out with a theology. So our goal is to get a theology of the Demiurgos. Theology is a study of God. And so what we're going to get is, as it were, the unfoldment of the state of mind of the Demiurgos in the process of creation. State of mind of the Demiurgos as he proceeds through the creative process in bringing into existence what he calls the becoming and the all. That's what we're after. Because he has two goals: to talk about becoming and the all, what we call the universe. Well, this is going to be very easy for us to do tonight, because I have the good fortune to have some great works available that have been translated, made available. Now, everything I'm using comes from the Loeb edition of Plato, the Bury, B-U-R-Y translation. It's a very nice one. Thomas Taylor has another. There are other translations. And if we then focus at the unfoldment of the creative process, so we can see the mind of the Demiurgos as he proceeds, we can work together and get the whole personality, the persona of the Demiurgos, or an insight, therefore, into the mind of God in the creative process. Therefore, wouldn't you agree it ought to be a simple task if we get good quotes? All right. Watch what we're going to do now. Let this be the beginning. Let us say this is the actual steps that bring about the becoming, the generation of the universe, our cosmos. As we watch this process unfold, there's going to be a parallel process where Plato describes the state of mind of the Demiurgos. Now we're going to come up with a rather curious idea. In the work, it talks about time, you see, in a very important way. The first part of the unfoldment is eternal. The second part is in time. So in order to make the whole cosmos and the universe as much as possible like the Creator, it's necessary that time comes into being, comes into becoming. And therefore he has the most beautiful idea of time. He has time. Time is the moving image of eternity. So it's a moving image, right? It's a moving image. Time is a moving image of eternity. And of course, in the Greek, the eternity is that which always is. And if we could keep that idea in place every time we use the word eternity, will save us a great deal of difficulty. What is eternity? That which always is. It's a simultaneous whole. What always is a simultaneous whole. Therefore, in order to bring about a knowledge of the nature of the creative process and the demiurgos' state of mind, we're going to reverse the process and then treat it as a simultaneous whole. Well, what does that mean? Well, good thing we have another page. All right. Essentially, this here, of course, is the demiurgos. And in the process, the demiurgos looks in the process of creating to himself, because the most significant principle in the whole unfoldment of creation is a term that we've become used to: likeness. Let's see how he describes it. It's very beautiful, because likeness is the supreme originating principle of the cosmos. Let us now state the cause whereof he that constructed it constructed becoming and the all. He was good, and in him that is good no envy ariseth ever concerning anything. And being devoid of envy, he desired that all should be as far as possible like unto himself. This principle then we shall be wholly right in accepting from men of wisdom as being above all the supreme originating principle of becoming in the cosmos. Likeness. First thing he did, therefore, to bring into existence is that he desired that all should be as much as possible like himself. Therefore, the first creative burst from the demiurgos, from the divine, is desire. So here we have desire. That starts it all. And since he desired that all should be as much as possible like himself, and there was no envy on his part to block that, no jealousy, therefore he could allow creation to be as like himself as much as possible. Therefore, the first, the primary, and the supreme originating principle of the entire cosmos is likeness. Now, as I read, you can tell me all of the states of mind that are described in the process of creation. We're going to collect them, consider them as a simultaneous whole, and we'll talk about, therefore, the state of mind of God or the demiurgos in the process of creation. For God desired that, as far as possible, all things should be good and nothing evil. Desired. Second desire. Wherefore, when he took over all that was visible,